Hey, Rocket, shift over, little buddy. Hey, come on. Come on, little buddy. Come on, shift over. Okay, let's try this out. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3, 4, testing, testing. Hey guys, I'm back from the Florida Audio Xposition 2025, or as we like to call it, FLAX 2025. All in all, it was a great show, great turnout. Orchard Audio Room was busy all 3 days. And, you know, I'm going to be honest with you guys. Whether I'm working a room with Leo or if I get a chance or if I just go in as a tourist, you know, I don't go into the big ballrooms anymore. I just, unless something seriously floats my boat, I just don't get it, you know. And even, like I said, if I'm working a room, like it's always going to be with Leo, you know, and that, when I do get unleashed for like an hour or two, it's usually to socialize, you know, to go find people that I know, and while, you know, kind of catch them in between they're doing their YouTube stuff, you know, or I'll go hit certain rooms that I really need to go see someone or check something out, you know, or check out the competition. We'll get to that in a minute. Well, what's it? Friday morning. It's about 9:30, and Leo had to go help Amar in his sound field room. He had one of the big rooms in the 4th floor there. As soon as you got off the elevator. All right, so Leo goes and does that. Now I got the rig for about a half an hour before showtime. So I'm like, well, fuck it. Let's just fucking rip this shit up and see what the hell happens. So as you guys saw in the videos, we've got Amar's OB1212 speakers, I believe they were, powered with Leo's 500 watt ultra mono blocks. And we had the monitor speakers that Amar built with Leo's 150 watt Little Star Crimson amp, you know, the ones I like to blow up. Well, what did I do? I said, oh yeah. First thing I did was I turned on the Wait, Garth Hudson's organ intro, and I had that motherfucker just cranked. And I forgot that the door was cracked open with the rope, and it was just fucking loud. I mean, everything was maxed out, and I'm playing them on Amar's towers, right? So there's a 12-inch coax, and then there's a super tweeter or planar magnetic, the same GRSs that I used on my open baffle debacles a few years ago, but his are obviously tuned a lot better than mine were. You know, and then for the bass, he had a Encore plate amp powering two 12-inch woofers. Fair enough. Well, I just had the fucking thing cranked. Just the intro before the music starts. Then after that, I queued up Deep Purple's Lazy. Off of Machine Head, same thing. Just cranked that fucking organ all the way up. Hammond's flying throughout the room, and it was fucking loud, right? That all said and done, I said, which version of Keith Emerson doing fanfare, you know, stabbing the shit out of an organ should I pull up? And for some reason at that point, the DSD files on my memory stick didn't all load onto Leo's server. But anyway, well, I found on Qobuz the I think it's from the '97 tour, and it's my favorite live version of fanfare. You know, the ELP version, not the nice version, which is America and Rondo. Same thing. I just got past the Carl Palmer drum solo. Keith Emerson's organ bit comes up, and I just cranked the shit out of it. And then Leo came in, and I was just about to put the volume, just when I was putting the volume down, so it was all good. So that's how I broke it in Friday morning. So yeah, so Leo let me out for about an hour, so I figured first thing I got to do is go check out the competition on the first floor, because Final Audio wasn't there, which to me is still a mistake, but hey, it's not my thing. I'm not going to worry about it. So I went to go check out the Papori room and met Wendy Darling, She's the sister of Mike, who is the distributor for Papori. And I met Jason too later on that night. I'll get to that in a little bit. And so we struck up a conversation, shooting the shit. Then I talked to Mike. Didn't say that I was, I already bought the pair of Final M12s and all that stuff. And the demos sounded really good from what I heard, even though there was a bunch of old guys, all like this, waiting for the whole thing to happen. I said, Wendy, what the hell is this? He says, I don't see any women in here. No ladies. She says, yeah, it's been kind of like that so far. I said, that's not cool. So anyways, I talked to Mike, talked to Wendy, and they said, yeah, come by after 9 o'clock. We're doing an after hours party. And when somebody says after hours party, and I was classy enough not to ask if there was going to be booze there. Of course there was, bottle of Basil Hayden, and it's all good. Get to that in a little bit. So I go upstairs and I talk to Leo and I said, dude, we got a problem. He says, what do you mean? It seems that there's a lot of ladies here, boyfriends, husbands, daughters of some of the dads and stuff like this. And they're either being totally ignored or they're too intimidated to ask for a request because it's a man thing, right? And both of us, he's like, no, we're going to fix that. So right from Friday afternoon right through Sunday, we had a ladies first policy. And so when women did come into the room, there'd be a bunch of, it's usually old farts, right? Some young farts, but mostly old farts. Anyhow, so we would just bypass them all and say, ma'am, what would you like to hear? Some of them, and others were like not shy. Yeah, I want to hear this, 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 and this. And then some of them would say, no, my husband's the audio guy. You ask him what he wants. I said, no. You tell me what you want to hear. He can wait. And so it kind of broke the ice. And then, as the day went on, more ladies were coming to the room. And then, we obviously had some celebrities coming in, which was very cool. Melinda Murphy from her vinyl channel there. Her and her husband, and I keep forgetting his name. Super cool people, eh? And so Melinda had reviewed Leo's earlier streamer with the knob, but it had the AKM chip in it. I think she bought it. I'm not sure, but anyways. So she sat down and I showed her all the vinyl DSD rips that I did. And I said, Melinda, a lot of the stuff that you reviewed's on here. Those specific pressings, if not. And she said, you got Dark Side of the Moon, Joe? I said, yeah, I got the yellow band MoFi that I ripped. And so Leo played it. I had to take a bathroom break. And wouldn't you know it, 5 minutes into the intro, and Rune crashes. That was the first time I think it happened on Friday. And I'm like, shit. And so I finished what I had to do in the water, and I came on, Leo, what? And I see Melinda and her husband. I'm like, oh no, they got pissed off. Nope. Talked to her outside for her and her husband for the next 10 minutes, and I told her how I did those rips, and she was impressed. Like to her, it sounded like there was a turntable playing. Because I don't do any of that noise reduction or click reduction. It's like whatever's coming out of the grooves, coming out of the preamp, that's what goes on the DSD file. So that was very cool. The other celebrities that I ran into were, Doug Schneider from Soundstage. I've seen him every year, but now we're kind of more, talkative on Facebook and stuff. So, Doug was doing the floors from the bottom to the top, and he did spend about a half an hour in our room. I think that was on Saturday. And he wasn't the only one, reviewer that spent a half an hour in our room. Frank Doris from Copper was so blown away, and the fact that he saw that we were taking requests from everybody that came in there, he thought was cool. And we told everybody, anything goes. If we were playing, I think we played Staying Alive at one point. I think Giles McCoy, when he came in on Sunday to kind of chill after, he just needed a place to relax for a little bit because he'd been doing all the rooms, interviews, and everything else. So yeah, Giles, hung out with us. He did a nice review for us, as did Doug Schneider, our buddy Carlo Larasso from Secrets of Home Theater and High Fidelity. Shot the shit with him for a little while outside, and you know, who else did we have? Oh yeah, Scott McGowan came in, which was kind of cool because the PS Audio didn't have a room, but just to check the place out and see how the new digs are. And I think, yeah, he was the only one from the PS Audio entourage that was there. But no, it was cool. And same thing, he sat down, shot the shit for not shot the shit for half an hour, listened to music. We let him play his request, and it was great. It was really, really good. So yeah, Friday went pretty well. Saturday went pretty well. I'll put links into all the YouTube channels. Sorry, that popped in just as a reference in case you don't know their channels. Saturday again was a really heavy traffic day. We were busy like hell. So many times I either had to leave the room because it was full, or I'd be sitting cross-legged off to the side with my laptop and Leo and I changing DJ duties. What else? Yeah, Saturday, was nothing earth-shattering. It was a really good day. Got a lot of good responses. Saturday night was cool because after we went for dinner, and my own devices, Dave, hung out with us Friday night, Saturday night. Ellen and Ernie from Argent Pure, my cables and the silver amps that I build. So yeah, we hung out with my own devices, Dave, Friday and Saturday night. But when I came back to the show hotel, Leo dropped me off. I was like, okay, let's go check out the Papori room. And I showed up, and yeah, the room was pretty much full, And I brought my DSD rips. I talked to Mike. I said, let Jason do his thing, and once it's done and over, then I'd like, the folks to hear my DSD rips on their reference rig. They had I think the WR3s, which is their entry level at like 18 grand. And then they had the flagships on the other end, which I think I forget, I'm not going to say the price because I'm not sure. And so, yeah, we had a blast. I won a cowboy hat, which I'm not putting on today. I'll put it on another day. It's just don't feel like it right now. Won the cowboy hat, drank a lot of the bourbon, spilled some of it on the floor, just like I did last year. And then once the crowd went out, all the stragglers, which were basically Mike's customers that bought the Papori loudspeakers from before, we all hung out, had a good time. I think we moved over to the W3s or the WR3s, and I played some Tangerine Dream. And understand, they had the box system set up on both. And the demos Mike did, the demos that Jason did, were really, really good. And so yeah, it was a really good time. And one of his customers was handing out gummies at the end of it, and I'm like, sure, dude, no problem. I'd been having trouble sleeping Thursday night, Friday night, getting up at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, and then now I gotta go, help run a room and all that stuff. It was insane. The one thing that the rune crashing, and whether we use the hotel Wi-Fi on Friday or Leo's phone as a bridge, right? It is what it is. And the problem is I never take my Wi-Fi tools with me to these things to kind of find out what channel people or what channel they're broadcasting the guest Wi-Fi and all that stuff on, because they want you to pay for the really good Wi-Fi, right? And it's like batshit crazy money. Same thing, they've got Ethernet ports that they turn off in the rooms on purpose, right? So, yeah, I mean, Sunday was the usual wrap-up Sunday, but our room was like the chill room. Carlo came in, Giles came in, Doug I saw out in the hallway because I was able to go do some more socializing. I went into the honorist room. We had Walter Swanbon from Fidelis come in to our room for about, he hung out for about a half an hour or so. And super nice guy, super nice guy. I can't say enough about him. And what else? Trying to think, guys. Yeah, Sunday, like I said, I took off at 3 for the airport. You know, did my usual. Never helped set up, never helped tear down. Last year I helped tear down. And yeah, oh, the other thing too was I brought my DAC as a backup. And Leo and I thought, okay, bring the CD drive, but we didn't really need it. But I brought the DAC, and Amar actually needed a DAC, and speaker designers are hilarious, man. Because, DACs are all the same. It's, you know, nothing's changed in 15 years, the same old. So Amar, what he does is he has a wireless bridge that basically takes the local files off of his laptop, and then it's a bridge that connects to his preamp, right? And then the preamp obviously goes into the, you know, analog outs, and away you go. Well, this DAC in this thing, it's some German manufacturer thing. Well, the bridge works great. So no, he had Amazon Music, so he could take requests. But we knew it needed the DAC. And sure as shit, we plugged it in. And I thought I connected left to left and right to right. And I found out from Amara Saturday morning, dummy, you put left to right and right to left. And it was a tight shelf that it was on anyhow. He fixed it. He found the problem before showtime, so, you know, no harm, no foul, whatever. And really, that was it, guys. You know, I didn't, like I said, I don't do the big ballrooms, you know, unless I really have to. I missed the dual Audio Lab mission room. I should have gone in there. Those guys were there the year before because I wanted to see if they're actually going to come back out with the dual CS 5000. I'd love it if they did, because then I'd be dumping my Lin like a, you know, and getting the dual. But anyways, that's an aside. Really, guys, that's it. You know, thanks again for watching. I ran into a lot of you guys. At least 10 people recognized me from the channel, which, you know, appreciated. And yeah, I mean, thanks again, guys. Have a good one. Have a good rest of your week. Hopefully everybody came back in one piece from the show.